For instance, one night I went out with a group of guys, and there was a group of young men who were also incarcerated, but they were in another facility, not an adult facility. And sitting in the room, we had this opportunity to have one-on-one conversations. And having a one-on-one conversation, this young man basically opened up and told me that he was molested. And when he said that, I knew that I was holding on to a secret for a great number of years. And when he told me that, he opened me up, and it helped me to, open up to him about what had happened to me. And from that point on, that was one of the many situations, trauma effect what took place in my life. And that young man really helped me out a lot. Hearing young men talk about losing their fathers to violence, to prison, hearing their mothers are out there selling their body for a hit of crack or a bag of heroin, opened me up, and it opened me up in ways where I knew that I lived just like these young men when I was their age, but I had a duty, and that duty was to give back and to give a message, and also it took me to a point where I had to live by what I said to these young men. I couldn't tell these young men to put down the gun, and I was back in the camp, assaulting or injuring or maiming someone. I couldn't tell these young men, to communicate and tell their loved one how they felt when I wasn't doing this thing. So, that program and those two situations of many were very instrumental and opened me up. And also the gentleman that I was in the program with, I learned how to take constructive criticism. It was difficult, but it helped me a lot. Because we come up where we always want to hear the good about us, but we don't want to hear, the things that we need to change. And it was a process, but I needed to hear that. Also, the Boston University program was another program, MCI Norfolk, where here I was in a class with a real professor doing real college work. And, I never, because I grew up where, my mother would tell me, you're never going to amount to nothing, you're dumb, and other people as well. And now here I am. I'm averaging a B in my classes. So that really, it really helped me in letting me know that I can accomplish anything as long as I put my mind and soul into it. What I do is basically I have a routine. I stay disciplined in everything I do. I try to program my day from morning until night. So what I do is I work out a lot. I jog. I do calisthenics. I lift weights. And I abstain from any type of illicit what they call hallucinants or narcotics. I try to stay away from anything that is negative. Of course, being in an environment that I'm in, there's going to be negativity, but I just try to, be around like-minded people. I try to stay as clean as possible. I try my best to eat right, live right, do right, to the best of my ability. Yeah, the food is really, the first thing I want to say is that, there's some people out there in society who don't have anything to eat. So I just want to just be, cognitive of that. I'm thankful for whatever I have. But the food here is absolutely not good. You're talking about giving a grown man, 4 chicken McNuggets, and that's really not nourishing. Some of the food is just thrown together. I've seen individuals who've cooked the food who go and use the bathroom after urinating and not even washing their hands. I've seen a lot of people get sick from colitis and so on and so forth. So basically what I do is I just try my best to, whatever limited funds that I get, I just try to just buy what I need to eat, such as oatmeal or tuna or cheese and crackers and things of that nature, so I won't have to go to the chow hall. Also the water, if I can, I buy bottled water, because the water in many of the prisons is not healthy. In fact, many people are dying now from water because of long-term use of the water. Absolutely. I remember, maybe 11 years ago, I was in a group called Problem Solving and Thinking. And the instructor of that group asked me, was I ready to go home? And I told him I was like 96%. And he said, wow, Nate, 96%? You've changed a lot. And I specifically told him, yeah, I've changed a lot. But I know that there's still room for improvement. So part of change is being honest with yourself. And at that point in time, I know that I still had issues embedded inside me. But when I first came into prison, even before I came into prison, I wasn't right. And then when I came into prison, it took me about, I'll say, 10 years, 10 to 12 years just to begin to see the light. And what I noticed is that the media paints this picture that almost everybody in these penal facilities don't change. But if they had a hidden camera and see the multitude and change of the men that are behind these walls, they would be astounded with what and where their taxpayer money goes. And it's because of some of the men that are behind these walls that have become the man I am, the man I am today. I attribute that change to that. But I don't get as angry as I used to. And when I do something wrong, I feel it in my heart. I feel like, wow, why did I do that? I know better. And because you know better, you can do better. I just don't have the same outlook on life anymore. I value friendship. I think a lot of it has to do with value. I value love, loyalty, friendship, respect, but for all the right reasons, whereas before it was for all the wrong reasons. When somebody writes you a letter or comes visit you, it means more. So everything means more to me today than yesterday. Than back then. And, that's how I attribute the change. I think it took me 11 years to really change. However, each and every day, I'm learning something new about myself. I'm learning something new about the people around me, about the places and the things. I'm learning from my mistakes. One of the most essential things in change is knowing that I'm not perfect. Absolutely. I think that a person is changing and growing every day. When I say from 2006 to, from 1995 to 2006, as 2006 being that mark, that was the mark when I looked down and be like, the people that I used to hang with, I don't hang with them no more. The conversations that I had, I don't have those conversations anymore. But also in change, I realized that even though I've changed and I continue to change, I don't look down on those people who haven't changed. First and foremost, I'm just thankful of God, man, for bringing me to where I'm at today. I'm so humbled, and I'm humble for the people that I have in my life. However, I don't think I'm better than anybody. I just think that I just feel blessed. I just think that I just realized that, Nate, you got to make a change. And part of change, is being humble. And I walk around young brothers all the time, and they, walk around with their pants hanging down, or, every word is the N word and this and that. But, I see me and them, because I used to do the same thing. I used to talk the same talk, walk the same walk. But the only difference is I don't think I'm better than them, but I just try to show them a better example. There are many men behind these walls who not only have changed, but want to give back to the community, that are seeking atonement, seeking forgiveness for the ones who they hurt and harmed, who want to right their wrongs. And for me personally, the message that I want to give about myself is that I'm continuously evolving. I'm continuously learning. And with evolving and learning, of course, change comes. But with that, I have something to give. Sometimes we look at the book, we look at the cover, but we don't open the book and see what's inside the book. And my message to the public, my message to these politicians, district attorneys, and is to look in the book. I understand that men have to be held accountable for their actions. I take full responsibility for my actions. But what I'm trying to put out there is, listen, man. I'm a man of redeemable quality. I've changed, and I'm not just speaking, and I just don't want to show it by my words, but God willing, be able to show it by my actions. And I hope that the public and society begins to take stock into some of these men inside and women behind these walls, because statistics say 90 or to 91% of the incarcerated will eventually be released. We need to try to do our best to don't shun, but try to embrace these men and women. Try to give them a chance. Give them an opportunity. There's men in here who know the law. There's men in here who not only read books, but who wrote books. There's men in here who have shared and spilled their life. Spilled their stories to help men within these walls to not go back to what they were doing before. I just wanted to thank God for just, keeping me safe and keeping me strong and keeping me motivated and with that destined desire to change. And, right now I'm hopeful, I'm blessed with things that are going on in the future. So, I have to thank my Lord. I'd like to thank my uncle. He's no longer here. My Uncle Marshall, who basically was like my dad. There's not a day that I don't think about you, man. You just mean so much to me, and you always believe me, and I owe that to you. Shambra Bernard, very special person. You believe in me. My cousin Latia Jacobs, my son. There's many other people. Also, people who helped me. Judy Deutsch, Sue, and the people who inspired me. Ollie Spears, you've inspired me, brother. I never really, I've told you many times, but you inspired me. Mr. Bernard. I remember viewing you when I was younger, with your Cosby sweaters. I never really knew what you did, but I knew what you was doing was positive. And you probably never knew that, but I was inspired by you. Denny Zulu, rest in peace. Glenn Williams. Zachariah Ibrahim Bush. These brothers were instrumental behind the wall. Thomas Kuntz, Conan Harris, Diamond, Supreme. These brothers were instrumental. Farouk, Arnie King. These brothers were instrumental in inspiring me and showing me that, listen, there's more to do. Kaya Houston, Kia Houston, Miss Nona Evans, Miss Loretta Jacobs, and many other people. Some that I may have forgot. Ibrahim, I love you, brother. Thank you.